Today I'm grooming Pippin. She is a poodle and a Bichon mixed. Her owner does not want her to look like a poodle, so today I will be giving her a number 3 blade all over, which is about 1 inch left, and a little round fluffy head. She came in with a little green collar, but she is going to get a nice clean one when she leaves. I'm starting her grooming with the bath. I'm going to go ahead and let the water get warmed up first. In case you're wondering what she's standing on, I used a storage bucket with holes drilled in it for drainage to lift the dogs up so I don't have to bend over into the tub all day because I have a bad back. She's usually very wiggly, especially for the bath and blow dryer, but she did really good today. She's getting conditioner too, so she's nice and soft. She's not really a fan of the blow dryer, so I only did that for a minute to get most of the water off. I'm going to towel dry her, clean up my mess in the tub, then I'll finish drying her on the grooming table. Most dogs are better for the blow dryer when they're on the table than in the tub. I don't know why, but they are. So this dog's hair was at the point where it was going to start getting matted. I mean, it wasn't matted, but it was really tangled up, and I had a hard time getting this blade through. So she took me a lot longer than she should have. But then again, I tend to pick on dogs. You know, I'm slow anyway, but it took a really long time because when their hair is this thick or matted, it's also harder to get them to dry just because their hair is so thick. And if they're not dry, the blade won't go through. At least the longer blades. So I keep trying to brush her out, and eventually I got the blades through. If you like watching dog grooming videos, consider subscribing to my channel. I have new videos coming out almost every day. I don't do a lot of big dogs anymore just because I've been grooming over 30 years and I have a bad back. I do some big dogs. I do golden retrievers. There's a couple golden doodles that I do. A lot of border collies and Australian shepherds. They're not really big though. Not like St. Bernards. You won't see me doing St. Bernards or Great Pyrenees. Ever. I did those when I was younger, so I've earned the right to stay. I usually stay under 50 pounds. I'm shaving out the inside of her back legs with a 7 blade, which is pretty short. And I'm shaving under her tail with a 10 blade. You want to shave all this hair away from under the tail so it stays clean when they go to the bathroom. because they can get really messy back here. Poodles and Bichon's hair grow right back. It grows just like ours. Well, it doesn't get as long as ours, but you know what I mean. You gotta be careful what you say on YouTube, because half the people listening to you take everything you say wrong. Her tail's a little matted, so I'm just gonna brush it out and trim it up with my scissors. I couldn't get the blade through it. I'm shaving the pads of her feet out because they get really hairy too. She grows hair in the pads of her feet and between her toes, inside her ears, and between her eyes. Underneath her eyes, everything grows hair. I'm having a really hard time getting this blade through. Guys, if you want your dog's grooming to go easier, don't ask the groomer to brush out a matted dog. And maybe you should come sooner, because it's hard on the dog to be tugging through all these tangles. I mean, if you brush your dog and keep their hair in good shape, their grooming is going to go easier. I mean, it's painful to keep pulling on their hair. Just saying. If this was my dog, I would just shave it off and put a sweater on him. I mean, I wouldn't take all this time on my dog. I know it's cold out, but if it's cold out and I want them to have long hair, I'm going to brush them or groom them more often. Okay, so her owner has been cutting her face. So her face does look a little uneven and choppy. They took some pieces out of her head and they trimmed around her eyes, which is fine. But I'm just saying, I had a hard time getting it to look even. And I'm making her head nice and round. I'm blending her head into her ears. It's this cute little round face and head. And I'm cleaning her ears out too. These long-haired dogs, they pull in the hair with their tongue, and it actually gets wrapped around their teeth and everything. So I'm trying to cut all this hair out from the corners of her mouth, but it's all tucked up in there. We're almost done. I'm just going to spray a little bit of conditioner on her and wipe her off. Knock off all these loose hairs and wipe the corners of her eyes out. she is getting an adorable gnome pattern tie-on dog bandana with a little butterfly button. I made it just for her.